What's good, YouTube? It's Nas and we back with another video. Road to 700 subscribers, of course. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. And if you don't know, this season, the Atlanta Hawks are 2-8 with Trae Young. And you're just really wondering what's wrong with the Atlanta Hawks, because before the season, I'm pretty sure people expected them to be a top 6 seed easily in the Eastern Conference. And people were actually saying that they had the best off season by any team in the whole NBA. So you're just wondering, like, what went wrong? Does this team even gel well together? And to be honest with you, if you're criticizing Trae Young, which I feel like it's appropriate, but he's actually, since his return, he's been decent. On the offensive side of the ball, we obviously know how talented Trae Young is, but on the defensive side of the ball, I guess we all know what Trae Young is at this point. And really, when it comes down to late game scenarios or any scenarios, when it's fourth quarter time, the other team is hunting Trae Young on defense. And there's nothing that the Atlanta Hawks can do to stop it. Like, I feel like when you got a negative defender, as we say, or what we would describe Trae Young at this point, like, if you have a negative defender, I feel like you find a way to hide him on defense. Like, the best offensive players that are not two-way players, like the best of them, like, I feel like if you're New York, I feel like New York does a great job hiding Jalen Brunson, because I do not think Jalen Brunson is a great defender. And obviously, he's 6'1". What would you expect? But Trae Young is the same height, and Jalen Brunson is not as near as the negative defender that Trae Young is. And I feel like that says a lot to what the Atlanta Hawks do, because even when talking about Jalen Johnson, who's improved dramatically this season, who will be an all-star this season, his defense has taken a lackluster bomb. It took in a drop-off. Let's keep it a buck. I feel like before this offensive season, where Jalen Johnson has become a superstar, I would say, and when you look at him on the defensive side of the ball, he's just an easy lick. Like, you're getting by him and you're going to the rim. And I feel like a player at his size, at 6'9", 250, 240, like, the way Jalen Johnson plays, he should not be letting his man blow by him the way it does. And really, the only thing that Atlanta Hawks are struggling with is defense. And I feel like that's saying a lot when you have Dyson Daniels, a runner-up defensive player of the year, who hasn't had a great season by any means this season. I feel like Dyson Daniels might have to, or should, be pushed to the bench right now, because Nickeil Alexander-Walker is playing great basketball right now, and I feel like it shouldn't be debated whether Nickeil should be starting right now. Obviously, you're missing Porzingis with his major sickness, but I feel like, or let's not say I feel like, because he's going to return in the next couple games. I just saw a report that he's missing Monday and he's listed as day-to-day, so Porzingis should be back soon. And it's news that they are going to, or trying to, trade for Anthony Davis, in which I don't know if trading for AD does anything for the Atlanta Hawks in this current moment. But, and with saying that, that's Anthony Davis at the end of the day, one of the best players in the world, or one of the best players of all time. So when I'm talking about AD, I'm not going to make it seem like the Hawks aren't going to be a better team, because they might be. Like, I'm not going to say they will or will not, because obviously having a healthy, let's say this, Anthony Davis is healthier than Porzingis. They're both injury-prone players, but if you wanted to say who's going to stay healthy the longest, I would probably say Anthony Davis. And when you look at that, I just really don't think AD is doing anything to make this Hawks defense even better, even though AD is one of the best defensive anchors ever. And I feel like what he was doing for LA in those seasons where there were not good defensive lineups at all, and everything relied on AD on defense, and he was still making it manageable and still making the Lakers defense look somewhat decent. And we see how the Lakers defense has looked since AD was traded for Luka Doncic. So I don't know, but looking at the Atlanta Hawks as a whole, right now, they're the 10th seed. They're on a 6-game losing streak, and right now, obviously, they're 15-18, right behind the Chicago Bulls, who are their 9th seed, who are 15-16, with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Charlotte Hornets on their tail. So I just don't know what's next for them. And their next couple games is the Thunder. That's a loss. The Timberwolves, which might be another loss. You got the Bucks. Wait, no, not the Bucks because I'm ahead. You got the Knicks, who they just lost to. You got the Raptors, who are hungry for a win. You got the Raptors again. You got the Pelicans, who's been playing great basketball since obviously Willie Green has been fired. So for this Atlanta Hawks, how do you go on the hot streak? How do you make this season manageable? Because you were supposed to be a contending team this season. This was supposed to be a big season for Trae Young, and it just really hasn't looked like that. And I just wonder if this is the end for Trae Young in Atlanta. What would we do? Like, is it time to move on? And I feel like some teams or some fans of Atlanta would say that it's time to move on, because obviously when you're watching the games, it just stands out to you that the defense is picking on Trae Young. You got people or Knicks commentators commenting on Trae Young's effort when it wasn't even a play which you could concern effort, because obviously we know Trae Young's a foul baiter, but he was trying to get the foul, and it don't matter. But when you're looking at the bigger picture of the Atlanta Hawks, I feel like buying low on Trae Young or buying high on Trae Young, I feel like, because I feel like you're going to get assets for Trae Young. Our team is hungry for a point guard, and obviously I feel like if you're another team that's not Atlanta, or if you have other great defensive players around you, I feel like you're going to find a way to disguise Trae Young on defense and make sure you can hide him. And that just really hasn't been the case for Atlanta for the last couple seasons, and it really hasn't been the case this season. But I feel like the sample size is large enough for me to finally make a video, because I've been thinking about it ever since he came back, whether it's time to move on from Trae Young or not, and give the keys to Jalen Johnson and probably build the defense around him, because I feel like it's easier to hide Jalen Johnson because he's 6'9". He's obviously on a play, he's going to have to play defense. He's going to have to strap up. But rather than a 6'1", 6 foot, whatever, however tall Trae Young is, and disguise him on defense, I feel like that's way harder than it is. So is it time to make the move? Is it time to move on? And when you really raise the question, what do you get back for Trae Young? Where do you see Trae Young fitting? And that's all the questions that the Atlanta Hawks have to figure out, and whether they want to move on to this new era. But I don't know. I can't honestly see the Hawks trading Trae Young, and that's what I say about every star player, because there's a chance that they go out and blossom for another team, and you just wouldn't want to be that team that traded Trae Young in the midst of what you would call a so-called prime. But let me know how y'all feel about the Atlanta Hawks down below. Let me know how y'all feel about Trae Young down below. Is it time to move on, or do y'all think they should stick out with this Trae Young and Jalen Johnson era? Let me know down below. Subscribe. What's good, y'all? If y'all made it to the end of the video, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And there's a video right here. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it if you like this one. And the channel icon's right there if you want to just check out the channel in general. And yeah, leave a like too, because it really helps the algorithm push me out. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching this video nonetheless.